Hello, everybody. Today is Ash Wednesday. And before I go any further, just an invitation to join us on YouTube or Facebook tonight at 7 o'clock. There is a worship service that the West Shore Conference has put together, the clergy from the West Shore Conference. So I invite you to take part in that service as a part of your Ash Wednesday beginning of Lenten discipline. As you know, today is the day where usually we would be gathering together. We would have burned the palms from last Palm Sunday's processions, and we wear those on our foreheads in the form of ashes, right? That's typically what we would be doing today on Ash Wednesday. As we would gather, we would confess our sins, we would hear of God's forgiveness, and we would be reminded that we are God's children as we make the sign of the cross on our foreheads. I want to just share with you the gospel text from Matthew for Ash Wednesday. It starts in chapter 6. Beware of practicing your piety before others in order to be seen by them, for then you have no reward from your Father in heaven. So whenever you give alms, do not sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, so that they may be praised by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you give alms, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your alms may be done in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. And whenever you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and at the street corners, so that they may be seen by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward. But whenever you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. And whenever you fast, do not look dismal like the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces so as to show others that they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that your fasting may be seen not by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consume, where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. That's our gospel reading for tonight on Ash Wednesday. But just the reminder that today, as you trace the sign of the cross on your forehead, whether it has ashes or not, really doesn't make a difference. It's the reminder that we are claimed as God's children. The ashes are simply there to remind us that we are dust, and to dust we will return. Because life is fragile, and life is, I guess, somewhat temporary. We don't last forever. And so the notion of our mortality is mixed in with that, but also God's claim on us, even in that mortality, so that when we do die, we have that promise marked and sealed on our foreheads in baptism, that God will remain with us, that God will keep us and care for us throughout eternity. So today, as much as I wish everybody could be here in person and we could mark everybody with the sign of the cross, I invite you to mark one another. If you're together with someone in your house, trace the sign of the cross on their forehead and tell them to remember they are dust, and to dust they shall return. But no matter what, dust or not, alive or dead, we are God's. We belong to Christ, and that is where our treasure is. So on this Ash Wednesday, as we get ready to head back to in-person services, as we get ready to begin our Lenten disciplines and practices, remember that. You are God's, and nothing can change that. We'll see you soon.